Are you constantly plagued by the feelings of self-doubt and the fear of being exposed as potentially as a fraud? Or do you feel like you're not good enough and that your successes and wins sometimes are due to luck? If so, you're not alone. These common symptoms of imposter syndrome is a psychological pattern that affects many high-achieving individuals. But don't worry, there's hope because I personally went through this myself, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to combat imposter syndrome by harnessing the power of self-assurance, following a path of confidence, and doing it all by using my step-by-step guide. But before we even get into that, I just want to talk about imposter syndrome for a second. It's something that can cause you to doubt your abilities and make you feel like a fraud. And sometimes to make you even believe that you don't belong, whether it's at work or in a relationship. And this can lead to a lack of confidence, self-esteem, and it'll impact literally every part of your life, from your personal, professional, even relationships. People with imposter syndrome often compare themselves to others, and they believe that they're not as capable, right, or as talented as their other friends or even family. And this can lead to feelings of inadequacy, anxiety, and even depression. Right? It's not a good life to live. But thankfully, after consulting over 1,000 people in the last year alone, I've learned the top 5 solutions that's not only helped me, but helped many others destroy their imposter syndrome. And I'm going to share with you all these things in a second. But first, who typically gets imposter syndrome? Let's dive into that. Imposter syndrome can really affect anyone, regardless of their age, gender, or, where they work, whatever it may be. But it's often associated with high achievers, such as, entrepreneurs, executives, academics. But it can also be experienced by people in entry-level positions or those who have recently experienced a significant life change, such as starting a new job or becoming a parent. Here's the real question, though. What if this doesn't end? What if imposter syndrome goes unaddressed? What will happen then? Well, let me tell you, it can have severe consequences on your life. It can hold you back from achieving your goals. It can hold you back from reaching your fullest potential. But from my experience of working with clients over the years, people with imposter syndrome most of the time avoid taking on new challenges or, opportunities, which then leads to missed chances for growth and success. That's like the biggest consequences that I see most because, people with this, they give up on opportunities. In the workplace, imposter syndrome can also lead to decreased productivity, burnout, and a lack of career advancement. It can also strain professional and, personal relationships because people struggle to form authentic relationships and connections and, be vulnerable with each other. But let's get into the good stuff here. I want to share with you the 5 actionable steps that you can use today to help yourself overcome imposter syndrome. If you apply these simple 5 steps, not only will you be able to overcome, self-doubt, but you'll be able to regain confidence and lead yourself to a more fulfilling and happy life. So let's start with the first one. Number 1, recognize and acknowledge your achievements. I want you to think for a second right now. Have you ever accomplished something in the past that you were proud of, right? And then you forgot about it. Now, it doesn't matter how big or how small. It happens to all of us. And one of the most common traits of imposter syndrome is literally downplaying or discounting our successes. And this can leave you feeling like you've achieved nothing, even if you accomplish a lot. To combat this, start keeping a list of your accomplishments, big or small. When you're feeling doubtful or insecure, pull out this list and read over this list to remind yourself of all the things that you've achieved. Celebrate your successes, give yourself credit, and recognize the hard work and effort that you put into them. This is the first thing I want you to understand. Number 2 is reframe your thoughts. I've always really loved the quote, "It's not what you see, but it's how you see it." Your thoughts and self-talk play a significant role in how you perceive yourself and your abilities. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, your brain will literally believe it, right? But instead, I invite you to try and reframe your thoughts into more positive and empowering statements. Focus on progress, not perfection. That's the problem with most of the world. They try to work on perfection first, but you can't have perfection without progress. For example, instead of thinking like I'm not good enough, try saying I'm learning and improving every day. This shift in mindset can help you build confidence and see yourself in more of a positive light. Reframe your thoughts. Number 3 is simply seeking support. You know what's awesome about solving problems? You don't always have to do it alone. You can seek support from someone you trust, whether it's a mentor, coach, or therapist. Talking to someone about your feelings of self-doubt can be liberating, and they may be able to even offer you insights. And additionally, I believe that connecting with other people who have experienced imposter syndrome and they overcame it, these things can help you feel much better because you're learning from somebody who's already been there. Now, let's move on to number 4. Challenge your inner critic. Those thoughts in your head that tells you that you're not good enough, right? Have you ever questioned the questioning? The inner critic is the voice inside your head that tells you that you're never good enough, that you don't belong, and that you might be a fraud. It's essential to identify the negative thoughts that fuel your imposter syndrome and to challenge them. Ask yourself, is this thought fact-based or assumptions? Challenge yourself, what evidence do I have to support this thought? And oftentimes you find that the negative thoughts that you have are baseless and have no foundation in reality. So ask yourself, am I thinking based on assumptions or facts? Now, number 5 is simple. Take action. Finally, one of the most effective ways to overcome imposter syndrome is to take action. Imposter syndrome is simply the lack of belief. So the golden question is, how do you build belief? Simple. By creating undeniable evidence or results. You create that by doing the work. And when you have the results, it's difficult to be hard on yourself all the time. Set simple and achievable goals for yourself, even if it makes you uncomfortable, because that's the whole point in general, right? And when you accomplish these goals, you'll build confidence in your ability to prove to yourself that you are capable. You don't have to take giant leaps. Instead, focus on taking small steps in the directions of your goals. By doing so, you'll build evidence and eventually be able to tackle even more significant challenges. Remember, it's all about progress. I'll say it again, it's all about progress, not perfection. Let's quickly summarize all of this again one more time. Number 1 is never forget to recognize and acknowledge your achievements. Number 2, reframe your thoughts into more positive and empowering statements. Number 3, seek support from someone you trust. And if you don't have someone you trust, look up online. There's tons of free advice and guidance everywhere. And number 4 is challenge the inner critic and negative thoughts that fuel imposter syndrome. Number 5, take action. By implementing these tips, you can combat imposter syndrome and gain confidence to believe in yourself and your abilities. Remember, you don't have to do it alone. If you want to seek support, then go out there and try to find the support that you can get. If not, there's tons of resources online, and focus on progress, not perfection. Imposter syndrome can be really debilitating, but it does not have to hold you back. And by recognizing your achievements, reframing your thoughts, right? Seeking the right support, challenge your inner critic, and taking action, this is literally the ingredients to the recipe of killing imposter syndrome and rebuilding that confidence inside of yourself. At the end of the day, you just have to remember that you're not alone and that there are a lot of help available. Even if it's not a live, human beings in general, this channel, this YouTube channel, even other channels and, a lot of things online, it's there to help you. Anyways, my name's Quan the Alchemist. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit the thumbs up below, comment below what was your favorite tip, and subscribe so you don't miss out on my future videos. And if you enjoy this video, I'm just gonna pin another video right here. It's how to overcome self-doubt, how to overcome self-doubt in 3 steps. In case you wanna dive further into this topic and truly become the best version of yourself. And before I end this video, I just wanted to remind you that we are all alchemists in our life, meaning that we can create whatever we want. The only thing that's holding us back is ourselves and our imagination. You can either think from limitations or you can think from possibilities. I love you all. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.